Good afternoon, Your Honor. Daniel Meo.
All right. Mr. Gu, you are representing yourself. I do have to apprise you that you are before the court on charge of resisting and obstructing a police officer. That is a high court misdemeanor, or what technically is known as a high court misdemeanor, and or felony punishable by up to 2 years, $2,000 fine plus court costs. There are great perils in representing yourself in this. You have to understand that I am going to treat you the same as though you know the laws and the rules of evidence. I will not treat you worse because you are not represented. I will not treat you better or grant any favors or try to clarify anything for you. If, for whatever reason, during any point in this proceeding, you wish to be represented by counsel and cannot afford to hire counsel, counsel will be appointed to represent you. As I have in the past hearings asked you to acknowledge what I've said, I'm going to only indicate that I believe that you understand English. You believe that the words that I have said to you are understood, so that we don't get into, you need to remove the gum from your mouth.
Mr. Meo is back, and he's about to find out exactly why he desperately needs legal representation. If this is your first time watching my channel, this is part 2 of a case we covered a little while ago. The man you're about to see is Daniel Meo, and honestly, his behavior in court is unbelievable. He repeatedly refuses to answer Judge Simpson's questions and carries himself with this smug, know-it-all attitude, as if he believes he's above everyone in the courtroom. From the very beginning, this hearing gets off to a rough start for Mr. Meo. And yes, even saying that name feels strange, but what's even stranger is his conduct. He walks into court without an attorney, chewing gum like he's sitting in a movie theater instead of standing before a judge. That alone tells you he's not taking this situation seriously at all. Let this be a lesson. Do not do what Mr. Meo is doing. Court is not a place to play games, and going in without legal representation is a huge mistake, especially with an attitude like this. Now that I've said my piece, let's stop wasting time and dive straight into today's courtroom exchange to see exactly what unfolds between Mr. Meo and Judge Simpson.
And
Thank you.
so I will not ask you to acknowledge. I will presume that you do indeed understand everything that I've said. Now, having said that, what are we doing with this case?
I'd like to move for evidentiary hearing or a
You wish to have a preliminary examination?
preliminary examination. Yes, sir.
Would the people have their witnesses available the second?
We can try, Your Honor, but before moving toward that, would the court be willing to make its inquiries about discovery? I am aware of the defendant having filed a writ of mandamus with the Court of Appeals of the state of Michigan.
Yes.
That was subsequently dismissed without prejudice by the Court of Appeals.
Correct.
Contained within that, though, there are allegations that my office has violated its Brady obligations and has not provided sufficient discovery. So I'm not sure if we're ready to move forward to preliminary exam. The defendant is saying that he doesn't have all the discovery. That is the concern of the court. The record I feel compelled to make at this time, though, is that the people have provided, I do believe, complete discovery to the defendant, and I believe that some of the representations that were made in this writ of mandamus that has been dismissed appear to allege that things that have already been denied by this court should be produced. Furthermore, the defendant filed a motion with no notice of hearing attached to it. So there's an outstanding motion in this case as well, no hearing date scheduled. So I'm hoping to sort of reconcile both of those things as to whether or not discovery is complete, the defendant's prepared to move forward, and if he ever has filed a notice of hearing to go along with the motion that I received in this case on 11/22.
Mr. Gu, your response?
My response is that I thought this was the hearing that we were setting for the motion. So if I have to set a motion for a notice of hearing for that motion, I will do that today, Your Honor, promptly.
What about discovery?
I'm ready to move forward on my what I meant by my discovery comment was that there's still no exculpatory evidence as far as that I did anything wrong, as far as anything that they've submitted. So if it was improper for the wording, Your Honor, I apologize, but my ultimate goal is have the prosecution present their evidence against me.
I'm going to indicate discovery is complete because I don't know what you're saying, because what you just said regarding discovery didn't make any sense. As it regards the motion, we will hear the motion the motion will be heard on date of exam.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Deal with it at that point in time. So the people would have their witnesses available on the second.
We could try for the second, Your Honor.
Preliminary examination in person, January 2nd, 2025, 12.
Yeah.
12 noon, that is before me.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And continue.
This guy is a perfect example of why you absolutely need proper legal representation. Not only does he refuse to take the situation seriously, but he also comes off as extremely smug, almost like he believes he's smarter than the judge. I genuinely don't understand why he thought trying to outsmart the court was a good idea. If anyone has thoughts on why this guy behaves so irrationally, let me know in the comments. To me, he gives off strong sovereign citizen vibes. I've covered several sovereign citizens on this channel before, and they all seem to share the same over-the-top confidence and authoritarian tone toward judges, as if they believe they're above the law. It's honestly complete madness. Everything as if that alone will make the problem disappear. Instead of helping himself, he's only making the judge more irritated. And honestly, most viewers probably feel the same frustration watching this unfold. This is a clear reminder of how badly self-representation can backfire. In my experience, it almost never ends well, especially when someone acts like this. Rather than defending themselves, they usually dig an even deeper hole. The fact that he lost his child and still refuses to take accountability is hard to wrap your head around. Whether this is due to emotional instability or pure immaturity, it's difficult to see how he was ever considered fit to care for a child. That's all for my thoughts on this clip. I'll be covering the next hearing when it drops.